Gracias. Some people have asked, where do you get such a big, high-protein breakfast? Because we meet a lot of people, a lot of Europeans that like small breakfasts, like, we're going to have a yogurt and a seed, and then we're going to walk for 12 miles. Not us. We like a lot of protein. So here in the main square, you can see there's a place right here in the corner that we got a huge, massive breakfast. And usually we don't eat this much, but we need to carb up and protein up for the day.
Leaving Pamplona, the first village you pass is Cizur Menor. And the reason I mention that is just because it sounds cool. Yeah, I think I'm going to name my next son Cizur Menor. There's a small church that you can look inside. For more than 100 years, it was used as a grain silo. And now we continue westward with the sun at our back.
I think this is the first time in 5 days we finally get to put on sunglasses. Hey, in the second village after Pamplona, I can't pronounce it, it's right there, but that is the village where Yosta and Sarah meet.
As to not confuse you, that's my wife on the left side of the split screen. She's taken. You have to love this introduction dialogue.
Oh, I love this girl.
Wears off quick, I promise.
You know each other?
Sorta.
I love this guy.
It wears off quick, I promise.
Come with us.
And that's basically how you start making Camino families. And you start walking with someone new on the Camino.
I ran into somebody from Montana, and since there was a drunk guy in the restaurant, she's going to walk out of town with us. What is your name, Montana? Marcy. I'm Brett.
I'm Gina.
Sometimes we walked with someone for a few hours.
Lou from New York.
Sparrow.
Sparrow?
Sparrow. This is Wendy.
Hi, Sparrow Wendy.
Sometimes we walked with someone for a few days.
Bob and Maddie for pasta.
Sometimes we walked with someone for over a week.
Sunrise service. Early morning. Let's go.
And then there's one person that we met, and we walked with her for nearly the entire ending half of our Camino. Oh, that's cold water. In the movie The Way, that's one thing that they really got right. You really do develop many Camino families along the way. All you have to do is start talking to people.
We're about to climb 2,500 feet to the famous Alto del Perdón. It's a very windy peak where those silhouettes of pilgrims are, and it's another movie location, Gina. Woo! Gina, it's translated as Hill of Forgiveness.
Oh, okay. I forgive you then.
Oh, from what?
I don't know. Whatever you need forgiven of.
There's a lot. So if the Camino is a spiritual walk for you, then perhaps this little section will be one where you want to release forgiveness with every step that you're climbing up. Otherwise, it's just going to be harder and harder on your life. Because once you get to that peak, it's downhill from there and such an easier journey to the next village. It always feels good to be forgiven and to forgive. Ain't that right, Gina?
Oh, that's all right.
She said it's right. What the hell? And also in the movie, Yost says, you can do this on a bike, but you have to push it up the hill first. And that's not fun. And that guy's tough because he even has a pilgrim tattooed to his calf. Well, the rain from yesterday still gave us a few problems.
Muddy, muddy, muddy.
Yeah, some people said some choice words, so we might have to bleep. No, not her. So we may have to bleep those out, but here's what it looked like.
Okay, Gina really did not say a bad word. I just thought it would be a little bit funny to beep her as if she did.
She's amphibious.
Not too bad.
Not bad. On the way up to the wind turbines, and just below the ridge is an ancient spring called Gambellacos Fuente Reniega, something like that, where apparently a medieval pilgrim was dying of thirst, and the devil appeared and offered him
a spring of water if he just renounced God. Well, the pilgrim rightfully refused, and they say that St. James himself miraculously appeared and revealed the stream and quenched the pilgrim's thirst using a scallop shell as a cup for the water. Well, today the well's dry a lot, so I hope you brought your own water with you. Okay, we got to the top, and I didn't see that fountain. Maybe it overflowed, and that's what we were walking through.
Okay, I didn't expect this quite so soon, but here we are.
It's really difficult to do any movie reenactments because the wind is so strong up by the iron silhouettes of pilgrims. The figures represent people from different time periods, ranging from the Middle Ages to the present day. Maybe the very present day. Notice that the very first pilgrim appears to be searching for the route like the first pilgrims did. The second group of three shows that the pilgrimage is gaining in popularity and groups are now traveling. The next group shows that infrastructure is being built and merchants are on horseback and people are coming to help pilgrims in their journey. And then there is some distance and you see a solitary figure because the Camino lost popularity due to political and social unrest. And then at the very end are two modern-day pilgrims. They are wearing contemporary hats and backpacks, which shows a renewed interest in the popularity of the pilgrimage. And all of them are facing west with the inscription, "Where the way of the wind crosses the way of the stars." And the way of the wind, certainly where these windmills are. And it crosses the Camino, the Santiago de Compostela. I'm a little upset because I didn't know that you could take a tour bus up here. And remember that Tom leaves ashes of a son right there. So don't sit there. You'll be sitting on Emilio. As we might be tempted to stay and take a lot of pictures and rest and relax, I think we need to keep walking westward. From here, there's a detour that you can take to see the octagon-shaped church towards Obanos. It adds about 3 kilometers, or maybe about an hour to your trip. A bit longer if you walk slow, but it's pretty cool to see, and it's called one of the jewels of the Camino. It's been linked to the Knights Templar, and also there have been suggestions that the area was a burial place for pilgrims that couldn't make it any further. So if you have time, check it out. You know, to see the church, not to be buried there. There's almond trees as you go into this next city, but I'm a city boy, so I don't know what almonds look like. There's one. We have a bounty. I'm afraid that Homer Simpson is going to be popping out of these bushes at any moment and then going back in. Coming into Obanos, and you have a fresh lemonade stand. Awesome. Hola, Peregrino. Entering Puente la Reina, pilgrims used to wash the dust off their feet before entering the town at a spring that was here. But the spring is now a graffitied fountain outside of the Church of Crucifixion. Now, the Church of Crucifixion actually belonged to the Knights Templar in the early 14th century. Back in the 1400s, they used to ring a bell 40 times at 9 p.m. from this church, and then again at 10 p.m. to guide any pilgrims who might still be on the road. Now that was really nice of them. There was a document dated from the year 1350 that indicated that a French pilgrim named Jacques de Troyes was hung for stealing money and books and clothes from other pilgrims here. They didn't mess around back in the 1300s. Rumor is it that French pilgrim never stole again. If you're a Protestant, as we are, you can still attend the Catholic Pilgrim's Mass. We did, and it was one of the highlights of our Camino. It was all in Spanish, but there was a word towards the end that we did understand. They said, peregrino. So we stood up and went forward with the other pilgrims, and the priest pronounced a blessing over us and put a necklace around our neck, and then we went into his office and he stamped our passport. Great experience. On the way out of town, you pass over the Queen's Bridge in honor of the mayor's wife that committed this Roman bridge to be built to support the safe walking of the numerous medieval pilgrims that started down this route. Queen, we thank you.
Which way do we go? I think I happen to know. It's such a beautiful day. We're going to be taking more pictures, so we'll get in pretty late.
It's a short walk.
There is a very practical way that you can help me in making content like this, and that is by liking this video and going back and liking any of the other videos that you've watched, and also by subscribing. And another way is by making a comment, any comment at all. You can ask a question like, how is the wildlife on the Camino? Or you could say, great job on the video. Or you could say, I hate this guy. Or you could say, how do you get blood splatter off of curtains? Any comments will help, way more than you could ever realize. So please make a comment, like, subscribe, and get ready for the next video. I picked this for you, darling.
Oh, you're so kind. Gracias.
The name of this village means nest of vipers in Basque. Now, I'm not sure why, but one book says that it might be because of the council location on the top of the rocky ledge that was prone to snakes, but I would probably say it's because the streets are built like snakes. They're just not straight. But as with many of these villages along the Camino, it's still just beautiful to walk through. Even though your feet might be aching and sore and tired, you just fall in love with all of these places and you just enjoy the beauty and charm that's around you. And on the way out of town, you see a recently restored stretch of Roman pavement that leads down the hill to a Roman bridge. And from here to Lorca, you walk on Roman road that was repaired or rebuilt from the Middle Age. In the next video, I'm sharing one of the most graphic and intense stories from Camino history. You're not going to want to miss it.